how did you sort of decide that this is what you want to do next? Um, and when did the whole process of putting it together began?
I wanted to do a sillier special. Yeah. I'm, it's my fifth one, and I really wanted to just have some fun, and have it be a foolish special, celebrate the fool in all of us. And, you know, then 6 weeks before I was supposed to do this show, I lost my voice, right? So, what happened was अच्छी चल रही थी जिंदगी थोड़ी सी, we sold out a stadium, we won an Emmy, we did all of this stuff, etc., etc. And then I lost my voice on the morning that I sold out the stadium. And my family was like, "You've been talking too much. You've been sharing too much good news. You have evil eye. Nazar lag gayi hai tumko." Right? And I thought that was a very interesting starting point for a show, saying, if there's joy in your life, do you tell people? Or should you be silent about your joy? And I think the learning of the special is, if there's happiness in your life, you should scream the happiness. You should scream your joy. So that's where the volume came from. So I think it's a sillier show, but about having a voice. And at what volume should you be an idiot? And I think at full volume, you know.
Hmm. Um, you said the show is about being silly and having a voice.
Yes.
आपको लगता है both things can go together? Like somehow we
I think
believe that
so.
if you have a voice, you have to be like really serious and stuff. And
No, yeah, I think we're rounding the corner on, I think there's a little older notion that you have to be someone to say something. That's rooted in our psychology. If you say something, they're like, "Lekin aap ho kaun?" You know, who are you to say this? But I think we're now just thinking you can say something, and maybe then you'll be someone, because of what you said.
hmm,
So I don't think you need to. I think you can have your voice, and I think you can be very silly. And
hmm,
I think if you keep using it, that's what you need to. Don't lose it. Don't shut it down.
hmm. But this question, did you ever encounter, because up I think आपके trailer में भी mention आता है that you're supposed to make me laugh, not like to some
Yeah.
effect you say that. Have you faced this question? But who are you to tell me this? I think as a comedian who is very
Yeah.
sharp, yeah.
Every day people are like, "Who are you to tell me this, etc., etc." And then the honest answer is, I'm an idiot here. Like I'm largely uneducated. I'm not very intelligent. I'm not academically qualified at all. But I'm here to say stupid things. You know. So it's a right question. Kya ho kaun? But I don't think who you are should determine how much you are allowed to say. I think the idiot and the fool should be allowed to speak as much as the intellectual and the professor. You know.
That's true. That's true. The way you were like sort of preparing your audience for the show,
Hmm.
you spoke about politicians, celebrities. You were like कि celebrities mostly कुछ करके बैठे हैं. You don't need to follow their advice. You
Hmm.
can vote by not like you can vote for a politician but not be a fan of that politician, and that's okay.
Sure.
I think, yeah. So we you combine your comedy with the most inane observation to the most sharp observation, and that sort of sometimes land you in trouble. It lands you in a lot of trouble sometimes, but somehow do you think you have found a way to do both and be not be scared but also not be not like face too much trouble? Is there something like moderate
I
space for you?
if anybody can tell you the answer to this, they're smarter than I am. I think the things you think will get you into trouble never get you into trouble, and then it's the things that you can never predict that become the trouble. So I don't think अगर आप pre-plan करके कि you know I don't think that's you'll ever be
So
able to
you don't
accurately
censor
predict.
yourself when you're writing a joke.
No, the audience will censor me eventually. I'll just tell the joke. अभी आप बता दोगे कि मैं गुस्सा हूँ कि मैं ठीक हूँ कि मुझे पसंद आया. You'll let me know ना. But I think the line, the audience controls where the line is. The audience moves the line every year. If you think about it, there's material that we could do 12 years ago that is considered very unevolved today. It's considered very basic today, that material. But we didn't know that 12 years ago. But the audience took us there, no? The audience moved the line,
Hmm.
and then artists are forced to evolve because of the audience moving the line. So it's my job as an artist to walk up to the line, but the audience, you will let me know where your line is, you know.
Hmm. Very interesting. Um, i- you said 12 years ago, some of the jokes that you could crack, you can't crack that. Like
Yeah.
somebody will say, no, यार body के ऊपर आप ऐसे कुछ joke नहीं crack कर सकते, because obviously world is not in that
We've
place,
evolved,
but
yeah, we've
the
grown, yeah,
world,
yeah.
yeah, but we also sometimes there is a feeling as journalist, as a public figure, you must have felt that हम जितना grow कर रहे हैं हम उतना पीछे भी जा रहे हैं. Like some of the things that are happening around us everywhere. I'm not talking only specifically about India. ऐसे लगता है हम बहुत पीछे चले गए. जो 60s में हम थे वो अब हम नहीं है. So
I know, I don't feel that way. Sorry to push back, but I don't feel that way.
no, 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 absolutely.
Uh, I think measurably the world is getting better. If you consider the amount of people that are lifted out of poverty, the amount of people that have access to education, the amount of things that medicines can do, the average human lifespan, collectively the world is largely getting better for a human being in terms of technology, medicine, lifespan, education,
Hmm.
access to information, all of that stuff, right?
Hmm.
The problem is, everybody has an equally loud voice now,
Yeah.
and you have to be, if I take the freedom to talk in my voice as loudly, I have to entertain the loudness of your voice as well, you know. And it's just that you weren't exposed to that earlier, and now you are exposed to all of the counter opinions. And I think our brains have to work harder to figure out what we actually believe in, you know.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
just think it's that. But just because, just because 10 more people are screaming in your ear doesn't mean it's a worse world. The world is
Hmm.
getting better. It's a good world. It's just that 10 लोग चिल्ला रहे हैं आपके कान में और पहले कोई चिल्लाता नहीं था. That's it. I think that's all it
A hopeful artist is better because आप हमें hope देंगे. um, so that's a better thing actually. मुझे याद है जब when I was scrolling your X account,
is.
आप random किसी club में गए थे, and there is a clip where you say, you guys didn't think I'm good, but I'm very good. You very
Yeah, yeah.
confidently say that, and I think that has been your career largely, that people uh, when you came back to India, you started acting. उस time comedy का scene उतना evolved नहीं था.
नहीं,
Not many
नहीं था.
people, like stand-up comedy didn't exist in 2012. I don't know. In this form, it didn't exist.
In
Like,
English and in the urban form, it didn't exist that much. But there was a very proud circuit of, हास्य
hmm,
कविs and regional stand-up comedy. वो तो बहुत सालों से हैं. And
hmm,
it's a much higher evolved version of stand-up than this.
hmm. So when you landed here, you found yourself in the film industry. But to come to the point that you guys didn't think I'm good, but I'm pretty good. How much time did it take, and what all went into it? In your own words.
I've done my 10,000 hours with stand-up. So I feel like I'm home on stage now. If nothing else, whether you like me or you don't like me, you are at least meeting me. It's an authentic version of who I am. I think that's the journey of an artist is really, if you watch their art, you should know who they are. So whether you like me or not is, of course, that is your decision. But when you come for my show, you will definitely meet me. You will know me, and you will know how I feel and who I am. So वो हो गया है. It takes 10,000 hours to get to that point to say, okay, I know how to completely be myself. And I think that makes you better, yeah, as an artist.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I feel good. I feel confident.
Hmm. You have an audience in India, you have
Yes.
an audience outside India, and somehow you are introducing a version of India to them that probably they don't get to see in pop culture. Like you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
the आपके NRI parents का India doesn't exist in one of the
Yeah.
stand-ups, and there was a pushback also. But I also feel that we take the memories of a home that no longer exists. It is always in our memory. So how do you sort of balance that? The outsider that you were in India, but you're not. You're home now. I feel you're home now,
Yeah.
but you're still an Indian with a international sensibilities to the people you are like doing stand up in, say, London or America or anywhere in the world.
I think I have an opportunity to present a version of India that they haven't seen. Listen, if you want the five things that you know about India repeated to you, there is a local comic who will do that for you. So if
Hmm.
you're in New York, you will find a comic who will say Indians run convenience stores and we are gas station owners and we are doctors and we are the richest diaspora people and parents are very conservative and something, 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 right? But I'm saying, it's a 17-hour flight from Mumbai to New York City. It is a 3-hour line at the American embassy to get the visa. It is a 2-hour line at JFK when you land. If I'm going to travel all this way, there is no point telling you the six things you already know. I might as well tell you something you don't know. Why come all this way to Carnegie Hall or to whatever, and then be like, "Arey, same thing," right?
Hmm.
And what I
Hmm.
like about Indian audiences is they're very patient. Like sometimes when I talk to Americans or to British people, etc. Like in this special, there's a moment where I try and explain a gali, right? And a very popular gali, the most popular gali in India. I try and explain it to white people, right? And there's I'd say 70% of the audience is American, and then there are Desis in the audience. But even the Desis are sitting back saying, "यार मेरे को भी देखना है कैसे समझाएगा?" कैसे, So it's like a test that I have to pass for the Indians as well. So they will be patient with you for 45 seconds or 1 minute and be like, हाँ हाँ please आप समझाओ मेरे को भी देखना है आप कैसे समझाते हो. So I think that's fun for me.
Hmm. Hmm. And also, we you I've gone through your account, so I'm asking a lot of
Yeah,
random questions from there. There is a video of the person you walked up to and said, I listen, I'm well educated, I need a job, and you got the job.
yeah.
This kind of confidence, do you think it has helped you get through situations where probably it wouldn't have worked for you? Do you think
Well, I
that?
mean, what you're referring to is, I was washing dishes and I needed more money to make rent. And I saw a lady called Carol's Event Staffing near the train
Hmm.
station. And I walked in and I said, I'm educated, please give me work. It's not confidence, yeah, it's desperation. You know what I mean? I really, really needed the money at that moment. वो desperation गया नहीं है. I'm still desperate about creative projects. I desperately want to tell a story, etc. तो उसमें आता है. But I,
Hmm.
I don't confuse confidence with desperation. I was very much asking, begging for a job.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm. Hmm. And you got the job,
I
and
got the job.
your
Yeah,
friends, I think, for life now. I don't know.
yeah.
She seems very proud of what you have achieved in your life.
She was very
So
sweet. She was, yeah.
yeah. And with full volume, I'll go back to your first answer that you said you lost your voice, and the family said too much of good thing was happening. So uh, you seem like in a moment that too much good stuff is happening with you, but when you like you say you have done 10,000 hours of um, comedy to reach this point. Where do you go from this? A very inane journalistic question, huh?
No,
But
no, it's a good question,
do
yeah.
you have a map for yourself that what all you want to tackle? Does this
I
work
want,
like this for you?
I want to write two shows that showcase everything that I'm scared to do. In terms of
Hmm.
artistically. So
Hmm.
I'm definitely writing two live shows, and I just co-directed a movie. I'll hopefully do another one. I wrote a book. So I'm really
Hmm.
thinking like, what scares me? What have I not done before? Let's do that. But in terms of the
Hmm.
10,000 hours, that's not the achievement here. That's building the gadi. That's making the engine in the
Hmm.
garage. That's 10,000
Hmm.
hours, and now I get to drive it. अभी तो
Hmm.
highway पे आए, you know what I mean? तो अभी तो
Hmm.
सफर शुरू हुआ है. So I think that's where I'm at right now. I feel
Hmm.
confident. I feel
Hmm.
like I know my voice, and I feel like
Hmm.
there are few people, not lots, but few people who are interested in that voice, and now I can try and surprise them and do new things with that voice.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank you, Veer. Anything you want to add that I haven't asked?
July 18th. Please just watch the special. That's all I want. That's it.